Hello YouTube, Genius in Exile here. Just got back from another great harvest, fall harvest. Oh, look how cocky. Fall is a time for citrus, and these are beautiful. I got some beautiful oranges, and my friend actually extended me a lovely invitation to come to her, or through her sister, to come and pick all their citrus that I wanted. So we picked for about an hour, but it was raining so hard we actually had to stop. I got some oranges here, some beautiful kumquats here. These are gorgeous. I don't know if you've ever had them. They're kind of like little oranges, but they're very tart. And I'm actually going to make candied kumquats out of these. And these are some grapefruits. Now you notice there's 3 in there that are not like the others. These are actually last year's fruit, and they're real sweet. They look ugly. Yeah, there's no argument there. They're definitely ugly. They're not soft. They're actually still really firm. Scary looking, but they're real sweet. You can see how different they are from the fresh ones that have come out this year. Aren't they pretty? All pink and green. They're really bright on the inside. I cut one of these open, and they're so red. I mean, they're really red. They're very sweet. They almost have like a fermented sugar taste to them. And this is a pretty decent size wash tub. I thought that was kind of neat. And they were free, so that was definitely worth the price. It's a nice day. I met my friend out for lunch, and we went to go pick from her sister's backyard. Just got back here, and I'm going to make some candied kumquats, and I'll probably end up canning some of the rest and dehydrating some. It's really kind of funny. I was actually just thinking about, ways to prevent scurvy, and I did another video on some other citrus products that can help you prevent scurvy, but you just can't get any better than fresh. So I'll be canning these kind of like the mandarin orange style, where I cut off the peels and cut them from between the segments and can those in a light syrup. Not all of them, of course. I'll let the kids have some. I thought that was kind of neat. So y'all know by now I'm a big forager. And I like free. Free is definitely great. So I wanted to tell my friend thank you so much, and tell your sister thank you. We actually ended up picking after they had to leave. But this is just beautiful. So, free does not mean bad. Free means even better. And they're so fresh right off the tree. So I'm going to get to making some candied kumquats. Here's one of the grapefruits. Look at how red that is. So pretty and hot pink. And this is one of the kumquats. And these actually have pretty decent sized seeds in them. You can tell by the size difference. And these are some of the seeds I got out of the grapefruit. And what I've done is, following Mrs. Wolfie's advice, so I put a lot of the peels. This is a half-gallon jar here, full of vinegar. I've got lots of peels here already from some other oranges I got off another tree. Yes, I go picking a lot. So I'm going to plant these, see if I can get another grapefruit tree. I have one outside I planted about 4 years ago, and it's about 12 feet tall, and hopefully I'll get some grapefruit off of it pretty soon, but just want to show you that. Okay, on to the candied kumquats. Oh, this is one that was way too old. We didn't eat that. We just squished it up. Made the house smell nice. Sorry. Gross, huh? Alright, so in this pan, I've got 2 cups of sugar and a vanilla bean. Got some of my kumquats already chopped up, and I still have a little bit left to go. And from this small amount of kumquats, I've already got this much seeds. So I'm going to put in the juice of 1 orange. I rolled it on the counter first and then cut it in half. And that just makes it a little bit easier to juice. Oh, lots of juice in that one. These are also fresh picked off the tree, not the ones I got today. Isn't that beautiful? To this, I'm going to add 1 cup of water. There. Start that on about medium. Meanwhile, for those of you who haven't seen a kumquat before, they look like little oranges. They have pretty decent sized seeds in them. See, but they look like little oranges. They have segments in them, just like any citrus. See? I'll show you another one. They're very juicy. See? Now all I'm doing with these is I'm giving a little quarter chop, getting the seeds out, dumping them in. And you don't have to be perfect with them. So they're going to be candied. And beware when you chop them, they do squirt liquid. I got some juice all the way across my counter. So these are very juicy fruit. So I'm going to get this syrup nice and hot, and when it barely starts boiling, I'm going to add in 4 cups of my chopped kumquats. So I'll come back to you when I'm done with the kumquats. Okay, so I've gotten all the persimmons chopped, and I put them into the syrup, and all the sugar has dissolved. So now I'm going to turn this up to about 7 or 8. I have a gas stove, and let this simmer for about 10 minutes. I did try a little bit once I put them in, and I don't think 2 cups of sugar was enough, so I added another cup. And that seemed to be okay. I'll test it and see if we need to add any more sugar, but I'll let you know how much we add total. So I'll come back to you in 10 minutes. Still tart. Needed another cup and a half. It's really good. It's almost like a blood orange lemonade. Alrighty. So this has been cooking for about 3 minutes, and I tried it. So that's why I needed to add another couple of cups of sugar. So once this gets really boiling, or I'm sorry, really simmering, then I'll start the timer for 10 minutes. So the recipe I originally started out with has completely gone out the window. These fresh kumquats are so tart. I've added another cup of sugar and another vanilla bean because they were just so tart. In a little bit I'm going to add some pumpkin pie spice, as this is probably going to atop a cheesecake or something for Christmas, or maybe for Thanksgiving. I've got enough for both. So I'm just going to keep cooking out the nice citrus and make these skins really soft. This one I put in about whole, so it was just so soft and little bitty. But this is really smelling so good. It smells like an intense orangey grapefruit. You can smell the vanilla. There we go. Sorry, I'm adjusting the heat. And when I add the pumpkin pie spice, this is just going to be too good. So I'm probably just going to abandon that original recipe since the measurements were so far off. Either that, the person who wrote it really, really likes to pucker. So far I've got, let's see, the original 2, another 2, about 6.5, 7 cups of sugar so far. Still have the original 1 cup of water and the juice of that 1 orange. So all this juice you see right now is the result of the sugars and whatever liquid's coming out of the kumquats. And it's really starting to get up there. So forget the recipe. It was 4.5 cups of chopped kumquats, 1 cup of water, the juice of 1 orange, and about 6.5 cups of sugar so far, and 2 vanilla beans. And I'm going to add probably about 2 tablespoons of pumpkin pie spice, and maybe a little tiny bit more vanilla, I'm not sure, and a little touch of amaretto. I'm going to cook the alcohol out because this will be served to children as well, but I think that might lend a nice little almondy flavor to it too. So I'm just going to keep this cooking, and I'll come back when it starts to look pretty good. Okay, so I've added in my spices, and oh wow, this is really smelling good. And the amaretto. There, that's a nice little conservative amount, isn't it? That's alright. It's alright, folks. I'm cooking out the alcohol. And Mama's got a big bottle anyway. I'll be using those to make, to make cherry cordials. Really, really nice recipe. Real easy, too. I'm doing a video on that. So before you start asking, I'm absolutely planning on showing you those. They're really easy to make. And they only have 1, 2, 3, 4 ingredients. It could be easier. So I usually make my cherry cordials at the beginning of November, and as they sit, they get really gooey and wonderful. And you know those, you know the cherries, you know, with the goo in them that are covered in chocolate. That's what I'm making, except I use a little amaretto with them. Of course, I make the little virgin ones as well. This is starting to look and smell really good. Beginning to smell a lot like Christmas. Okay, still cooking this. Won't subject you to any more of my singing, and I'll get back to you in a little bit when this is reduced. Okay, just tried it after I added everything. Taste test says, forget it, I'm adding some serious sugar. Yes, not great for the diabetics. I'm really sorry. At Christmas time is time for sweets, and this stuff's really tart. So, there we go. I think that looked like about 2 cups of sugar. If not, it should be. But it's looking really good. So let's see how it is now. Oh yeah, much better. But you know what would make it better? Another cup. Okay. All right, so hopefully as the last of the citrus juice cooks out and starts to really come out here, we'll find out exactly how tart this stuff can get so we can start matching it with the sugar. There we go, it's a big lump right there. Fresh kumquats right off the tree are really have some serious pucker power. So I'm thinking, what, that was 7 before, another cup, another cup. Shoot, I think we're talking about 10 cups of sugar so far, because there's a lot of sugar in here. Not a diet food. This is, yeah, not approved by Weight Watchers, but it smells really good. And the holidays are coming up, and that's when we all pack on a couple of pounds. Of course, not me, but you know. So I'll get back to you in a minute. Okay, so I did a taste test. Hubby did a taste test. Looks like 10 cups is it. Whew. So, still reducing. I have a feeling this is going to need to reduce for about 35-40 minutes, so I'll come back then. Okay, so this has been on a very, very low simmer. I just turned it off about 5 minutes ago for about 4 hours. Still pretty liquidy, but I did turn it down really low because I didn't want the sugars to burn. You can see how dark it is. I think that's probably because I put those 2 whole vanilla beans in it, but this is just as brown as molasses, and the whole house smells so good. It smells like orange and spice and vanilla. Seriously, if I could do some kind of scratch and sniff on this video, oh man, this is so good. So I'm going to let this cool. It'll probably thicken up a lot, and I'll strain out the seeds. I think I left a couple in there. Didn't mean to. Oh, there's one. That was easy. And I'll can this up, and then what I'll do at Christmas time, I'll make a cheesecake and drizzle this over the top. It is so good. It has a very dark sugary flavor, kind of like a brown sugary flavor, only I used white granulated. It has a nice citrus snap to it, but it's got tons of spices, and it's really sweet and really, really good. If you get a chance to make it, give it a try. Take care and prep honestly. Baby grapefruit sprouting inside a grapefruit.